Hey everyone, it's Marsha here. Thanks so much for tuning into my channel. And today I'm making Asian turkey and green bean saute. So I actually picked up this recipe in my local grocery store. They actually had samples of it for you to taste, and it tastes so good. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to make this when I get back home. So here are all the ingredients that you need to make it, and they're all Asian ingredients. So that's really good. And of course you also need a cute baby girl. You need that as well. So here we go. Let's get started. So it calls for 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. So you warm up your skillet, put that in, and get that heated up. I have my skillet on medium-high heat. And I need to invest in some good measuring spoons. I don't have any, so I just use my regular tablespoons and teaspoons to measure. I'm sure they're not as accurate, but yeah, I just try to eyeball it. So then it calls for 3 ounces of pre-sliced green onions. And the container that I picked up from the grocery store was exactly 3 ounces. So I was like, this is perfect. So you put your green onions in the sesame oil, and then you cook that and stir it for 1 minute, just enough for the green onions to kind of get soft. And if you see my skillet wobbling, that's because I need a new one. That's probably a sign that you need a new one. I actually bought a new, like a shallow skillet, but I need to buy a new, like a deep dish kind of saucepan. So that's next on my list. Alright, so once that's stirred for 1 minute, then you add your turkey. It calls for 1 1/4 pounds of ground turkey breast. I'm sure just a pound of ground turkey will be fine. But you put that in and you crumble it up in with the green onions, and then you stir that and cook it like you cook any ground meat, of course, until it's no longer pink. So you kind of just break it up with your spoon just like you would any other ground meat, and you cook that until all of the meat is brown. Alright, so once that's done, you turn your heat down on low, and then here is the chili sauce, and it calls for 3 tablespoons of chili sauce with garlic. Another thing that I like about the samples at the grocery store, if they have like a cooking area, they'll have all the ingredients for that dish in that area, so you don't have to search for them in the grocery store, so that's always helpful. Then it calls for 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, I believe is how it's pronounced. So I just measure out 3 tablespoons of that. Then it calls for 1 teaspoon of fresh ginger root. But instead of buying the fresh one, I saw this one, which is already ginger root that's already grated up, and it was just easier for me. Plus I can save it, put it in the refrigerator, and use it for another dish. So once you have all of that added, you stir it up really good and make sure everything is mixed together really well. It smells so good at this point too. Alright, so then it's time to add your green beans. So this is the steamable green beans. So I've already steamed them in the microwave according to the package instructions. So then I add that to my meat mixture, and I stir that in until the green beans are tender. So maybe about 2 to 3 minutes. And here I'm just adding a little bit of water because it seemed like it needed it. But what I noticed towards the end, like, you know, when I tried out my food, it didn't seem like the flavors were as strong as the sample that I tasted in the store. So I think the water might have messed it up. So I wouldn't recommend adding the water, just saying. Okay, and so then this is the soy sauce. So it calls for 1 tablespoon of reduced sodium soy sauce. So I add that in there. And the last ingredient, the very last ingredient, is the rice vinegar. And it calls for 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. And so once you get the rice vinegar added, that is the last ingredient. You mix it up and continue to let it simmer for a little while, just to get all of the flavors mixed together really well. And you're pretty much good to go after that, after it simmers for a little while. And it smells so good. It tastes really good too, y'all. So this is just a close-up of, you know, the food once it's pretty much done. I'm just letting it kind of cook for a little while more or a little while longer so the flavors can kind of marry. And now I'm getting ready to plate it. So I bought a steamable brown rice as well. So I've already steamed the brown rice in the microwave. And now I'm just plating on my dish. Now in the store, they actually mix the brown rice with, you know, the rest of the ground beef and, ground turkey and green bean mixture. So I think I might try that next time. But this time I just added it to my plate and just put the turkey and green bean mixture on top. I don't know, I guess I was trying to be fancy again. But it worked. I mean, either way works fine. And that's it, y'all. That is Asian turkey and green bean saute. It tastes really good. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel for more healthy eating videos and to continue to follow me on my breast cancer journey. So until next time, I will see you guys later.